This long warehouse is all that's left of the Detroit copper and brass rolling mill. It's been abandoned for decades, but it's recently been in use again. Across the street, there used to stand an iconic riverfront cold storage warehouse. When that was being torn down, this building was being used to store demolition debris. And that's when we had the opportunity to check it out. The company called the Detroit Copper and Brass Rolling Mills started up in the year 1880. They had a small factory downtown, but by 1886, work was started on a massive new build on a huge parcel of land west of the city. With proximity to the Detroit River and the Wabash Railroad, it was a great location for shipping their copper and brass sheets, rods, rivets, and wires. Designed by architectural firm William Scott and Company, this factory was up and running by 1890. It occupied this huge stretch of now barren land, just west of the building we explored. This structure, the only thing left of the Detroit copper and brass rolling mills, was built in 1899. Designed by architectural firm Rogers McFarlane, the northeast and southeast corners of the building are rounded off to accommodate a railroad spur that juts off from the main line to service the old Detroit Harbor Terminals building, or the Boblo Docks as we used to call it, due to the big blue Boblo sign painted on the side. That's gone now. Check it out, though Google Earth still has an image of it in mid-demolition. This postcard from 1908 shows a nice depiction of the entire complex, including the company office building, the structure at 235 South McKinstry that we document in this video, and the rest of the factory that used to stand to the west of McKinstry Street. Here's a 1910 photo from the Library of Congress, and you can see that our building has the factory name stenciled across the curvature of the side and onto the flat front. Before we get into the McKinstry Street building, let's take a look at the company office buildings around the corner on Clark Street. These buildings have been repurposed, and the city put up a nice historical plaque in honor of the Detroit copper and brass rolling mills. Such a big expanse of texture, rust, industrial decay. It was a photographer's wonderland. Looks like they had a little chop shop operation going on. When the Detroit Harbor Terminals building across the street was being demolished, that 100-plus-year-old concrete was pummeled and crushed down into fine powder, and that powder was bagged up and brought by forklift over here to this building for temporary storage. workers even had their own basketball hoop. Must have been a great place to work before it became the graveyard for the cremated remains of Pablo. Tons of this material is just like some thick conveyor belt material, I think. 'Cause it's too dense to be foam, I would think. Yes. Big cog. It's plastic. Well, that's it. That's all that's left of an important but overlooked piece of industrial Detroit history. Who knows what the future holds for this structure, the last piece of the Detroit copper and brass rolling mills. I'm glad I got the chance to explore and document it when I did. Let me descend from these lofty heights here, and I'll see you next time.